Hello student, good morning all of you. I hope you all are fine. I Neeraj Khare, the biology teacher of class 10th. So dear student, today we start chapter 16, management of natural resources. Management of natural resources. So today's topic, management of natural resources. So dear student, anything in the environment which can be used is called as the natural resources. Anything is the environment which can be used is called a natural resources. Natural resources include total natural environment that support human life and contribute to the production of necessities and the comfort to mankind. So natural resources are the coefficient of the atmosphere, hydrosphere and the lithosphere. Depends of the atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. The student type of natural resources. So type of natural resources, so on the basis of the evidence and the ability, the natural resources are of two types: inhabitables and excitables. Inhabitables and excitables. The first one is start inhabitables. These are in the planetary and cannot be excited by man's contributions. For the example, air, sand, clay, etc. It gets the effect by the overpopulation of mankind. Inhabitables, these are in the planetary and cannot be extracted by man's contributions. For the examples, air, sand, clay, etc. It gets affected by the overpopulations of mankind. Ex-habitable. Ex-habitables, these are the limited and can get the excited over a period of time. Example of coal, petroleum, etc. Is called as the ex-habitables. These are the limited and can get excited over the period of time. Example of coal, petroleum, etc. Management of natural resources, a system of controlling the use of natural resources in such as a way as to avoid their wastage and the use them in the most of effective way is called the management of natural resources. So dear students, a system of controlling the use of natural resources in such as a way as to avoid their wastage and to use them in the most of effective way is called the management of natural resources. Why do we need to man why do we need to manage our natural resources? We need to manage our natural resources. The resources of the earth are limited because of the rapid increase in human population. The demand for the resources is the increasing day by day. The proper management can ensure that the natural resources are used judiciously so that they fulfill the needs of present generation and also last for the generation to come. So dear student, the resources for the earth are limited. So because of the repeat increase in the human population, the demand for the resources in the increasing day by day, the proper management can resources that be natural resources. The proper management of natural resources take into the considerations long term or view and the prevent their ex, explanations to the hill for the short term gains. The proper management will take into the considerations the damage caused to the environment during the extractions or use of the natural resources and find way and means to minimize the damage. Minimize this damage. So dear student, the proper management will take into the consideration to the damage caused to the environment during the exploitations or use of the natural resources and find way and means to the minimize this damage. Conservation of wildlife. Conservation of wildlife, it is a very important to conserve wildlife to maintain the ecological balance in natural and to to preserve the gene pool. Some of the measures or steps to be taken for the conservation of wildlife are given below. So, dear student, is a very important to conserve wildlife to maintain the ecological balance in nature and the preserve the gene pool. A first one is a law should be the made in the impose a total ban on the poaching, a killing, or the capturing of any animals or bird belonging to the endangered species. Endangered species. Second one, the natural habitat of wild animals and birds should be preserved by the establishing the national park and the sanctuaries throughout the country. Third one, the government department contact with the conservation of wildlife should conduct a periodic survey survey in all the forest, national park and the sanctuaries to have knowledge of the population of all species of wild animals and birds. The unauthorized feeling the cutting of the forest trees for the timber trade and fuel wood should be curbed, yeah, stopped immediately. So dear student, the unauthorized feelings and the cutting of forestry for the timber trade and fuel wood should be curbed, stopped immediately. Forest and wildlife conservation. Forests are the biodiversity hotspot. Biodiversity of an area is the number of species of the different life from like bacteria, fungi, powering plant, insect, birds, etc. Hotspot means an area full of biological diversity. Hotspot means an area full of biological diversity. Loss of diversity may lead to a loss of ecological stability. So, ecological imbalance. Loss of diversity may be lead to a loss of the ecological stability, ecological imbalance. Stakeholder, stakeholder, a person having the interest on the con- concern for the something is called as the stakeholder. Stakeholder there depends of the forest. First one is the local people dependent on the forest for their survival. Second one is the forest department, government who's on the land and the control the resources. Third one, the industries whose use the various forest produced. And fourth one, the wildlife authorized unauthorized who want to the conserve nature. So dear student, today's topic is complete. Tomorrow will next topic start. So I send you the PDF file. So complete your work and send me. Thank you.